Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2017. 2018 rather, sorry. That's anyways, it's just I'm so used to, I said that over 200 times or over 100 times in English and 100 times in Spanish, so it gets stuck. But anyways, Fort Wayne Regionals is happening this weekend. As you guys are watching this on Thursday, if you are watching it the day it went up, I'm actually on my way to Chicago in order to then take a bus down to Fort Wayne. So yeah, really looking forward to competing at my first expanded event. Trying to keep expectations in check, because I've never played an expanded tournament, and even though I do know the cards, it's gonna be a whole new meta. Not new cards, getting used to the old cards. There's 2 sets since the last expanded format happened, so yeah, gotta be very aware of those things. Gotta make the least amount of misplays, and we'll see if we can keep the momentum going from our top 8 at World's finish in order to keep at it, right? So to keep the results coming. So today we're analyzing Turbo Darkrai. We've played Night March and Trevenant the past couple of days. The other top contenders in expanded, I believe, will be Volcanion, Garbodor, and Mega Rayquaza. So the format should revolve around those 6. Archie's Blastoise apparently wants to make a comeback. There's talk about Pika-Bulu in expanded, but today we're gonna focus on Darkrai-EX. Dark Pulse, dealing 20 damage plus 20 more for every dark type energy attached to all of your Pokemon, is a really good attack. You get access to this Darkrai-EX as well, which has Dark Cloak and allows each of your Pokemon that has any darkness energy to have no retreat cost, which is pretty good. And then we have the new Darkrai-GX in the deck as well, which with its ability Restoration comes back from the discard pile with a darkness energy attached to it, and therefore you get to increase your damage output or restore your damage output. Now the Dark Cleave attack also deals a pretty decent amount. 130 is a very good number to be dealing. And then Dead End GX is an amazing GX attack which gives you the ability to knock out whatever is in front, and in expanded you do get access to Hypnotoxic Laser, which is pretty cool because that allows you to immediately affect your opponent with a special condition. You disregard the flip and you immediately get a knockout. So only running 2 because it's very situational. You're only ever going to use it once, but we also have the Spec Dowsing Machine in case we ever need to reuse that. And that extra 10 damage might actually come up a bit helpful in some instances, so why not use it? For support Pokemon, we have Sableye with the attack Junk Hunt, which is really good, and then Confuse Ray can also maybe give you an out in certain situations. Junk Hunt allows you to put 2 item cards from your discard pile into your hand, so you get to reuse things like Elixirs, things like Dark Patch, things like Seeker, which is really, really good. Then we have Hoopa-EX, 1 Tapu Lele and 1 Shaymin for the support cast in order to help us draw Pokemon and thin out our deck. For supporters, we have 4 Sycamore, 2 Colress, 1 N, which seems to be very standard in expanded. Then we also have 1 Hex Maniac, we have 2 Guzma, and we have 1 Acerola. But actually, there's a very big debate between which is better, Acerola or ACE. Both have their pros and cons, but I believe Acerola fits this deck a bit better just because once you've gotten your Darkrai's out and stuff, you don't really want to reuse Shaymin or reuse Hoopa or even reuse Tapu Lele. You just want to conserve your energy in play as much as possible, and if you can afford to recover a Pokemon in order to save it from a knockout or save one of your Darkrai's while still dealing enough damage, that seems pretty good. Especially because Darkrai's have so much HP and psychic resistance in expanded seems pretty crucial. We have the 4 Dark Patch of course, as well as the 4 Max Elixir to advance our energy or develop our energy in play as much as possible. And then we're running 2 Altar of the Moon, which might seem redundant with the Dark Cloak Darkrai, but the Dark Cloak Darkrai, we're only running a one-off. It's not the main focus of the deck. And by having access to a stadium, we might even be able to save a bench space and not bench the Dark Cloak Darkrai. So it gives us that versatility when trying to retreat. And then we also have our 4 Seeker for Ultra Ball for consistency. We have a single Field Blower, which has been pretty key in many games. We have 2 Battle Compressor in order to get the Darkrai-GXs in the discard pile or get Darkness Energy there as well, to be able to recover them with Dark Patch. 13 total basic Darkness Energy and 2 Choice Bands to increase our damage output. So let's jump into the ladder and see how we do. We immediately find a match, and it's probably going to be a mirror match. So if you're going to Fort Wayne, you should definitely expect a lot of mirror matches. Definitely expect a ton of mirror matches. We start off with the Dark Pulse Darkrai and nothing else, which is never a good sign. Mirror matches don't tend to favor the more skilled player unless, well, that's wrong. Mirror matches, given equal setups, then either the coin flip decides who, like the initial coin flip decides who won, or in-game decisions. However, if you don't get an equally good setup as your opponent, then you will always be playing from behind because you both have access to the same resources. However, your setup is not the same as theirs. So you'll usually always be behind in energy drops and powered up attackers, things like that. Now, my opponent, despite the huge hand, he goes for a Sycamore instead of an N, and given his hand, that's what makes the most sense. So we're gonna have to rely on a big top deck here. On a big top deck. I mean, we can pressure the Shaymin, sure, but I don't know how far that will get us. And it's our bad hand on top of the fact that we're going second. Now my opponent really thinking through his next move, although I wouldn't be surprised to see him just pass. Okay, so finally he decides to play the computer search. Discards yet another Darkrai-GX, so pretty decent start for him, I would say. Finds any card he wants, which is a Dark Cloak Darkrai. We see a Dark Patch onto it, which I don't necessarily agree with it. I think maybe going or attaching energy to the Dark Patch, to the Darkrai-GX might have been better. However, here I can hold on to the Guzma, see what else my opponent does. But yeah, draw passing essentially is never good, especially in a mirror match. Hopefully my opponent has N. That would be best case scenario. Colress would be second best case scenario because that means his hand wouldn't be able to develop any further. Colressing for only 2 cards, that seems pretty good. Pretty bad. But he of course has Sycamore. Discards a Lele, a Rainbow Lele. He's going to discard even more resources with Compressor, and I'm really surprised my opponent chose to retreat the Shaymin. Just because getting 110 damage on turn 1 seems pretty difficult. It's not impossible, of course, but doing it consistently seems very difficult. Of course, my opponent was playing it super safe. He might just want to, if he got a Dark Patch and an energy, or an Elixir and an energy, the Elixir does hit. Oh, Elixir and Dark Patch. That's off of his Sycamore to 7. And my opponent has one card left in his hand. What will it be? What will it be? Okay, can we not lose this match immediately? Okay. I mean, I could have got mad, but we're too far behind. We're too far behind at that point, so pretty awful game, pretty awful match, and this deck tends to do that. I mean, I know its name is Turbo Dark, and there are games where you just go off and get like 2 elixirs and a dark patch and your energy attachment, and then the next turn you get another patch and another elixir and things like that. But I don't think those games are the norm. They're rather the exception. It's only one game though, so hopefully we can make up for that right now. With a Mewtwo deck box and a Psychic type in the previous screen, this could easily be a Mega Mewtwo deck. I doubt it, but it could. It's probably some Garbodor variant though. It's much more likely. I'm gonna start Shaymin just because I have the elixir. And I don't really want to Shaymin for extra cards. If I really wanted to, I could Battle Compressor the Acerola and wait for the Shaymin to be damaged, but it is a Garbodor deck. Could be Garbodor Toolbox. I definitely have to expect Necrozma here. And there's a Bridget. Could also be Espion Garbodor. That's also a big possibility. So we'll have to see. Oh, it's just Drampagarb. Okay. Well, just Drampagarb. One of the best decks in the format, right? My opponent is using Rainbow Energy, interestingly enough. And decides to immediately retreat into the Drampa. Okay, so I'm gonna play the Max Elixir first, because off of the Battle Compressor, I do want to discard at least 1 energy. Actually, probably both Darkrai's and 1 energy. Or just 1 Darkrai perhaps. There's nothing else I would want to discard at this point, so I'm gonna go for that. And then we get to Sycamore. A Dark Patch means we get to attack the Drampa immediately, which is pretty good. We also find an Ultra Ball. So the Ultra Ball will in fact give us Hoopa. However, the issue is the Dark Cloak Darkrai and the third Darkrai-EX is priced. So we have 2 Darkrai-EXs priced. So that means there's no point in going for Hoopa. I'm just gonna grab the Darkrai-EX, and unfortunately we won't be dealing 100 damage because of the lack of the Dark Cloak Darkrai. We do lose the energy, and there's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 item cards in my discard pile, so we have to be very, very careful with that. Very, very careful. There's a Psychic, there's an Ultra, so probably going to search for Trash Challenge. No, he goes for Garbotoxin. Okay. So trying to prevent my Darkrai-GXs from working, I actually should have used the ability once again. And my opponent goes for the Big Wheel GX. So here I'm in a little bit of trouble. I can Field Blower or I can Dark Patch in order to get the knockout. Both add an item card to my discard. I probably want to save the VS Seekers for Acerolas at this point. Perhaps, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take a knockout here. See what happens. That's the 6th item card, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, We get 2 more items into our hand. My opponent also doesn't have access to item cards, I mean to abilities. There's a Trash Avalanche, there's a Choice Band, there's an Ultra Ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm only dealing 100 damage right now though. I'm actually only dealing 100 damage. Yeah, the issue is if I Sycamore here, I'm gonna be putting at least 4 more item cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 4 more means Garbodors already take 1-hit KOs on me. So that's pretty bad. So yeah, via Seeker for N. The N is okay, refreshes our hand. We might not need to expend so many resources. And we get an altar. We got an altar and an energy, so that's probably the best I could have hoped for. My opponent gets the Parallel Seed into play and goes for a Trash Avalanche, dealing a very significant amount of damage. However, not quite enough. So I'm going to retreat. Darkrai is going to take a knockout here, just enough with 120 damage. And with no Drampa in sight and the fact that we didn't add any item cards this turn, we should be good here. Should be good. There's no items my opponent can discard from us in order to increase his damage output. There we see a via Seeker. We might see another N. No, we see teammates. Okay. I would imagine he's gonna try to set up the last Garbodor and maybe splitting the attackers was not a good idea. Because Lele can finish off my Darkrai. His Lele with a DC can finish off my Darkrai. But if I lost it to energy, then I wouldn't have a response KO on that Garbodor. So never mind. This is actually correct. If I found an Elixir or a Dark Patch or something to draw cards and find those cards, that would be pretty good. So that I can then use this brand new Darkrai. See a Rescue Stretcher. Yep, that's probably one of the cards he teammates for. Decides to go for the Garbodor. So essentially we only have to deal with 3 Trash Avalanche, which I think is manageable. I think. Yeah, there's the DCE. And there's the Trash Avalanche. So I do find another dark type energy. I still need to Dark Pulse. I have the knockout on the next Garbodor. Find another energy. I could easily get End and whiff the energy though. Easily. PS Seeker for N. Yep, that makes sense. Our deck is still pretty big. So there's a big chance that we dead draw, but as long as we find 1 energy, we will probably be okay. Probably. Very big probably. The Dark Cloak Darkrai is still in our prize cards. We get Hex and we get Hypnotoxic Laser. My opponent plays a Field Blower. So with Hypnotoxic Laser, if we attack Garbodor, it's actually gonna get knocked out coming into our turn. However, my opponent very smartly chooses to attack with Lele. He uses Dowsing Machine for Stretcher. Yep. Okay, now he puts back Pokemon, which makes sense. He puts a full line of Garbodor and a Drampa back into the deck, and he gets a knockout. He did find a TC, which is a bit unfortunate for us. Now, yeah, I can't not attack this turn. This will probably put me at a Guzma game, at a Guzma for game. And I missed the flip on the Hypnotoxic Laser, that's fine. What I'm trying to do is deal the most amount of damage possible, and it looks like I will be able to. Can I hit this Elixir? Yes, I can. I'm going to use Restoration, and that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 energy, plus the base 20 damage, plus the Choice Band. We got the perfect cards off of the Colress to get a knockout and win the match. So yeah, we take down one of the biggest decks in Standard in this Turbo Darkrai showcase. And because I still need to prepare my trip, guys, this will be all that I will show from the video. The list is always in the description down below. I'll showcase the list here once again really quickly. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty solid base to start off with, I believe. If you are interested in making some changes, I mean, the Sableye could easily be Baby Yveltal, could easily be a Ricorio. There are other ways to activate Dead End GX with, instead of the Hypnotoxic Lasers. Some people like Sudowoodo, some people like to Shaymin. No Lele, some people like Jirachi, so there's a ton of options. Expanded, the card pool I would say is even too big, and I hope someday it rotates to XY on instead of Black and White on, which is XY on is the format the Japanese players currently have. So yeah, that will be all from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to leave a like on the video if you can. It really helps out the channel. Wish me luck at Fort Wayne Regionals. I don't think there will be videos tomorrow or Monday because I will be on the trip. However, videos will resume on Tuesday, and since the next regional will be a Standard, I will be focusing now fully on the post-rotation Standard format, especially because rotation happens on PTCGO on Friday. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your support, and I hope to see some of you at Fort Wayne. Bye bye.